My name is Ajayi, born 31st of December 1953. My father's name was Gabriel Suberu Ajayi, and my mother's name, late Mrs. Victoria Simisala Ajayi. Both are from Ekiti. I was born when there were only few refugees in my town. Incidentally, our house was made of a thatched roof during my childhood days. And in 1959, my father was able to build that house and use roof sheets. So we escaped from rain and cold. I started primary school in 1959 at Baptist Primary School, BBPT. When I was in primary 2, I had an uncle by name Mr. John Abiodun Adebitan. So he has just graduated from a teacher's college at Ede. So they posted him to Kimesi. That time, I was eager to travel, to know other places as a child. When my uncle was going to his new station, I pleaded that I will go with him. Then he took me along. So I became a child of a teacher at Okimesi Ekiti, very close to Itaoredia. So I started there primary 3. That time I couldn't read both Yoruba and English. But when this man took me away, he taught me how to read. I know how to say the right time at the clock. I could listen to rediffusion. That is the type of radio they use at that time, rediffusion. So it has just only one station, and it is being broadcasted from Ibadan. So luckily, there was one where we live. I would go and stay. After school, I would go and stay beside that rediffusion. I continue to listen to news. So I know different names like Doku Famubode. So I always happy to listen to news in English. So I will listen to the news in English and Yoruba. I always like the how one man used to start his news. He will say, "Here is the news," read by Doku Famubode. So I used to listen to those people in my childhood days. In primary 3, they will send me to go and look at the clock. What is the time? I will say how they usually say it on the rediffusion. Sometimes they will say the time now is 3:45. They will say the time now is 3:15. So I learned those things right from primary 3. So people love me. When I got to the school, "Hey, Ayo, go and check the time from the timekeeper." So I tell them in English. They will call other students to come. Do you see how this boy used to speak good English? He knows the time in English. So they praise me. My teachers usually praise me at that level. Then my uncle went back to school. So they dropped me at home again. So I started another peasant's life. That is when I was in primary 5. I started another peasant's life. So going to the farm with my father. Those things that I learned during that time with my uncle wanted to fly away because we grow and play, no time to read again. Eh? But when that man came back from a return course that time, he took me again to Owo. So I should be in primary 6. But when we got to Owo, he tested me, said, you are very poor. You are going to start at primary 5. So they dropped me back to primary 5. So I started primary 5 again, and my brain come back to normal. So primary 5, primary 6. At primary 6, my uncle went to Russia for further study. So I dropped back to my peasant life again. And unfortunately, after primary 6, no money to go to school. So I was following my father to the farm. That was from 1966 to 1970. I was following my father to go to the farm. No money to go to school. Because my elder brother was already in secondary school. And my father couldn't cope with 2 children in the secondary school that time. So I was helping my father in the farm. So I told him that when they get money, I will start school. Even they asked me to go and learn trade. I said no, I will go to school. I will go to school. Why? Because some people inspired me. The King Maker was living very close to our house. So in the morning, he put his children into the car, his wife. He would drive them to the school. I was watching him. I can become like this man too, instead of going to the farm if I read my book. So I was envy that man right from my childhood days, that I will read and I will make it. I look for money. I bought the form for secondary school. I filled the form. I submitted it. I sat for the exam. That was into the secondary school. I passed the exam. They asked me to come for interview. So I sat for the interview. I passed. They wrote me again to come and pay what they call acceptance fees to me. £5, acceptance fees of £5. So they call it deposit that time. Come and deposit £5, so that we know that you are coming to this school. Luckily for me, I was doing labor works here and there. I saved some money with my grandma. That's my paternal grandma, Mrs. Abigail Pasimani. So I saved a lot of money with her. She will not spend my money. I didn't give the money to my mother because my mother will spend it. So I saved it with my grandma. So I told him that, Grandma, I need £5 out of my money. He said, what are you going to do with that stupid money? I said, I want to start school. He said, have you told your father? I said, no, I haven't told him. He said, why? That he will not allow me to go. So I went and paid that money. So one evening, the Kefaro was living in our environment, strolled to our house to come and greet my father. So we sat down together. Said, Egba, thank you for taking care of this boy. My father said, which boy? He said, Ayo. He said, which way did I take care of him? I don't have money to send him to school. He said, you have paid this acceptance fees of £5. That by January, we will start school. My father looked at me. Where did you get? Who paid that money? I said, I'm the one who paid this. Who will sponsor you in that school now? I said, you are the one that will sponsor me, sir. My father was surprised. He was surprised. So, in the evening, he called his relations, brothers, sisters, and other people, that thinking that they will help him. And these boys have started again. You see that you want to go to school. Please help me advise what I can do, because I don't have money now. Let him go and learn trade. Let him go and learn this or that. Then one man said that if you send this boy to school, you will waste your money, because he's a stammerer. you will be useless. And truthful, I was a grade one stammerer that time. Very, very seriously, like Moses. I have a very heavy tongue. I couldn't speak well. So even if you send him to school, he could never be a teacher. He couldn't be a pastor. So your money is useless. So everybody was gone. My father was looking at them. After everybody has spoken, my father looked at me and said, "Ajayi, what do you want to do? See, people are giving you various advice now." I said, "Daddy, I want to go to school. That is my passion. That is my mission. I want to study." He said, "Well, though nobody supports you, but I will support you. So whatever I have, I will give you. But I will give you 2 commandments. Do you want to hear the commandments?" Eh? Say, "I will give you 2 commandments." Say, "Number 1, you know you are now a huge boy. You are a huge boy. Any moment you pregnate any girl, your school will stop." Say, number 1. Then number 2, anytime you fail in that school, I will ask up to me as possible again." I said, "Yes, sir." So throughout my secondary school, I never sit with a girl. I was sitting very far away from girls because I went to this school. So fortunately, I passed out and I started my journey to life. After my school certificates, that time, job is not a difficult thing from government. I enrolled as a teacher in primary school. So I taught in the primary school for 3 years. I saved money. Then I obtained form for College of Education, Ajayi College of Education. So I went there. I spent 3 years there. I graduated as a SC teacher. So I met my wife in the church. I was a member of Ajayi College, Baptist Student Fellowship Choir. I was singing the choir. Sometimes the church in the town will invite us to come and sing. Sometimes we invite some of the church in the town to come and sing with us in our song service. So one day, the church in the town invited us to come and sing. And I was one of them. They gave us a seat in the front, facing another choir, because we are not only the choir that we sing. Incidentally, my wife, Ajayi Fashion by name, during that time, was one of the other choir sitting in front of us. We were sitting opposite each other. So, singing. That was Saturday. So I was from Igede. She is also from Igede. I was looking at her during the self-service. I was looking at her. I don't know whether he was looking at me too. Like, I know this lady somewhere. It should be a lady from my town. So after the church service, I quickly run towards her so that I didn't want her to escape. So I went towards her and said, "Hello, sister. It seems as I know you somewhere." So he told me that you know me very, very well, that I'm from Igede. "Yes, I know that you are from Igede too. How are you? Where do you work? What do you do here?" Well, we introduced each other. So I got his address. Then I will get her the other day. Because there was no telephone that time. So I got the address. So the following week, I started to look for her. I married in the year 1982. That time, I didn't know Christ perfectly. I was a church goer and a choir singer. So I couldn't say that I was born again that time. But I fear God and I was going to the church. So along the way, we got married in 1982 after my graduation. That was during my service year. I went to serve at Bauchi State. I came back to take appointments at Ondo State Teaching Service Commission as a teacher. I was posted to Ondo Town. So from there, I started my Christian journey. Fortunately, we had a very good and passionate pastor who want us to have experience of Jesus Christ. That Baba was very passionate. The King Oguniyi was our leader at that time. So he would preach to us, take us for soul winning in that vicinity. So along the way, I got born again. That was in 1983. I got born again. And after some times, I received the baptism of Holy Spirit. So that time, let me tell you how Jesus himself lost me. Because Jesus has special love for me. He took me to a vision. Before I totally surrendered my life to Christ. He took me to a vision. We were lined up in front of a big church, and there was one tall man in front of that church. You know the choir robes. He carried plenty of them in his hand. So as people enter into the church, he will give them their robe to go and enter and sing. As this one come, he will give him a robe to enter to the church and sing. But when it was my turn to get a robe, I said, "Where is my robe?" The man said, No. "Please give me a robe. I want to sing in the church." I said, "No." He said, "No." And along the way, I woke up. I was afraid. So I couldn't enter into the church and sing. That means that I'm not qualified for heaven. So I couldn't sleep again because it was around 1 o'clock. And when it was around 5 o'clock dot, I woke up. I went to my pastor. I said, "Baba, this is what I saw. This night too. This is what I saw. And I'm not convenient with that vision. I was not given a robe to enter to the temple and sing." He said, "It is a serious matter." I said, "What shall we do now?" The man advised me, "You do this, consecrate your life to God." And all those things he told me to do, I started doing it. Do you know that at exactly the same date the following year, I think it should be around 1989. The first one was 1988. The same date, the following year, I had another vision. I was in one bush, roaming about in that bush. I heard the sound of trumpets. That trumpet was very loud, very, very loud trumpet, blasting. I said, "That is the trumpet of Jesus." I now kneel down in that bush. "Please, Jesus, please take me away, oh, I'm ready. Take me away, oh, I'm ready." That is Jesus. Take me away. Do you know that at that point I started to rapture to heaven. And I was thanking God. I was lifted up the sky. I was dancing. I was rejoicing as I was going. This world is very bad. This world is very hot. This world is very wicked. I thank God. I made it. But along the way, I was stopped. Say, I'm not stopping. Please take me away. Take me away. I'm not stopping. Don't stop me. I'm going to heaven now. Take me away. That's it. They drop me down into the same bush. I say, this bush again. This terrible bush again. I don't love this place. See? Continue to uproot that trees. I continue to plant. Uproot trees and plant. See, that is my profession. When I woke up, I said, I read the Greek. God has told me to go out fruit and continue to plant. I said, maybe I will resign from the government work. I will go to full time. So when I went to my pastor to report to him, he said, it's a serious dream. It's not about secular work. It is about God's work. Go and start God's work. We will arrange a police station for you where we start the God's work. I said, this man, I want you to join him in his pastoral work. I said, I cannot do pastor. I cannot be a pastor. I cannot be a pastor at this point. I'm not ready to be a pastor. I just refuse to tell that I cannot be a pastor. So I said, Daddy Pastor, please. Daddy Pastor, please. I will think about what you said. I will think about what you said. Okay? And I will give you report, answer back later. So, because I was dodging that way, I was dodging the work. Because pastor is a serious work. It's a very serious work. And because I didn't want to dabble into it, just like that. So I started my journey in life. I went to study at the University of Nigeria. I met many Christian brothers there. We encouraged each other. And I bagged my BSc in Agric. Started to work again. Then along the way, God told me to change the base from Ondo to a town in Ekiti. I said, where will I go? Where will I go in Ekiti? Where will I go in Ekiti? So, and God brought us here to Ise. You see, from that city to remote area, because of those a big city, where you do everything. Like, God has to leave the place, to shift this. So we were here. Things were not easy, very tough, very tough. So when we came here, God has also to start a church. So we started a church. And God was prospering the church since then. And God has been with us since then. And the church of God is growing. So people are being won into the kingdom of God through the church. So we started with one branch, then we have got another branch, 2 branches. We started with Christ Baptist, now we have Calvary Baptist in this town. So we thank God for that achievement. I think that is the greatest one I can do. This is the greatest achievement I say I had, apart from the secular work which I did. So, the work of God. God has been kind to us, has given us good family, good children, and we are proud of them. In my secular journey, I started as a teacher in Odo town. Then, there again, I was a teacher for many years. I was promoted to vice principal, to principal. I was a principal for about over 7 years in different schools. God has been very good to us in everything that we lay our hand upon. God has very good to us in everything we lay our hand upon. So, I think that challenges. Where we first started under a wooden shot. We construct a wood to make it a place of worship. So we decorated the place, we painted it, happy that at least we have got a worship place. But one afternoon, there was a very strong wind that blew just from nowhere. It wrecked everything we erected. It put down the building, everything. Damaged everything, including the roof sheet, including the benches. Damaged everything. So I was doubting that maybe God did not send me to do this work. I was confused. Maybe I was not called. Maybe God did not approve my calling. So, and I started prayer. I went into prayer session. I was praying. So when I was praying, God revealed himself to me again. He says, I should go and preach. That is what he said to me. Go and preach. He said it 3 times in that vision. Go and preach. We said you to go and preach. Go and preach my word. So that's how I wake up and I get more strength. You know that when that place fall down, we look for canopy. We worship under canopy, clap under canopy, beat our drums under canopy. The place is very close to the road. You know, one man was driving along that road. He was driving along that road. He reversed because I was confused. No money. I think my salary that time was it's not up to 2,000 per month. Not up to 2,000 per month. So how could I get money to rent another place? You know that man reversed. Called one of my usher, gave him 10,000 to go and give to the pastor. And the man drove off. So the usher come to me. He said, "One man asked me to give you this 10,000. I said, "Where's the man?" He said, "The man has gone." I said, "Good Lord, you have said your agent." You have said your agent to come and give us this one. And 10,000 was very big money that time. Very big. It's a big. This 10,000. At least we do. So after the church, I asked the members to wait. We have already pursued. We have already purchased a piece of land very close to that place. But the place is still in the bush, or still in the bush. So I told them, look, this place is not our own. It was given to us temporarily. Why don't we go to our permanent site and erect something there that will be permanent, that will be safe for us? They all agree with me. They say, but what about more money? I say, money is not the problem, because 10,000 is in my pocket. But money is not our problem. So, do you know, we went to our permanent site. We erected a building that can take about 100 people in 3 months. God did it. God gave us 3 men and 3 women. They are now men and women. There are no more boys. So that's the situation now. And God has given us grandchildren too. God has given us grandchildren. Beautiful ones. My wife. Let me say she's an angel. I'll call her my angel. So she has been very, very cooperative, very, very kind, very, very lovable. God sent her to me from above to come and be with me. So that is what I can say, because I cannot describe her fully. To say that she is the angel sent by God to me. She's my guardian angel that sent to me. In time of distress, she will comfort me. So she has not lacked anything. She has not lacked anything in beauty, in conduct, behavior, in kindness to me and the children. She has been very kind. And God will uphold her. God will uphold her for me. And God will uphold her for His glory. She is a workaholic in the vineyard. Sometimes I say I'm tired. She will raise me up. Don't tire. You cannot tire. You cannot tire. She's the church song director. She's also an organist. She's an organist. And she has produced 2 organists in the family. My first boy and another girl. That girl she's an organist at Ilorin now, with his husband. She's doing well too. So she has produced 2 organists in the family. And she's still producing others in the church. So she has been very helpful, very useful to God, useful to the family, to everybody. She's coordinated the women affair in the church, So everybody, anytime she didn't come to the church with me, everybody will ask, where's mommy? So mommy is even popular than daddy. So I even challenge them that you do ask for daddy, you always ask for mommy. Yeah, you cannot escape failure in life. You cannot escape failure in life. Then only ẹni tó bá rẹ̀wẹ̀sì ní ọjọ́ ìpọ́njú, that's Yorùbá Bible. Tí agbára rẹ̀ kò tó nǹkan. So we have experienced failure and we overcome them. Even sometimes when I was in secular work, there are disturbances here and there. We pray and we overcome. In the church, there are disturbances. Satan will come with his fury. I told you that our church was pulled down. That instead of being casted down, God lifted us up. You have to allocate your time. We were taught that at UNN, that's at the University of Nigeria, Nsukka. Allocate your time judiciously. There are many people that motivated me spiritually. I will start from late Dike Oguniyi at Ondo, Manuel Baptist Church, Ondo. So Baba motivated me spiritually. So Baba was a good Christian to be emulated. Baba Oguniyi was a good Christian to be emulated. I'm sure he's in heaven now. Another man that played another important role in my life was late Pastor Soyadosumu, who eventually became Oluwo for this Obasanjo time. So Baba also motivated us spiritually. Baba will take his megaphone and continue to preach in the street of Lagos at the age of 69, 70, 71. A megaphone preaching in the street of Lagos. We will follow him, distributing tracts to people in Lagos streets. He eventually became Oluwo at the old age. I think around 71. He became Oluwo, and he spent 20 years on the throne, preaching, doing palace evangelism. You know that sometimes when I read my old sermons, I was why don't I do it like this? Why don't I do it like this? So as we grew, the experience, the correction will continue to come, so that so there's no way we cannot, but since we are human beings, we are prone to mistakes. So but we have to adjust quickly when we make the mistake. Then there are some times that Satan will come with his fury and stop you. So we pray God will give us victory. God will give us victory. Even sometimes over the children, and God always take preeminence over them. So we thank God for all those things. We thank God for the kindness of God and His mercy over us. My hopes and aspirations. Number one, I'm begging this church to continue to grow from glory to glory, from glory to glory. The work of God in our hands should not die with us. To continue to grow from glory to glory. And I'm praying that the strength that God give me will not depart from the will of God. Will not depart from the will of God. They be a useful tool in the hand of God. Be a useful tool in the hand of God. Those are my prayer, those are my aspirations.
Go.
This is the story of my life. God bless you in Jesus' name.
Orúkọ mi ni Ajayi, Ọlájùmọ̀kẹ́ Emily. Ọkọ mi jẹ́ ẹni tó fàmù. Tó bá ti sọ pé ibi tó ń lọ ni, ibẹ̀ náà ló máa lọ. Wọ́n sì jẹ́ ọkọ tó fẹ́ràn ìyàwó púpọ̀. Very, very caring woman. Very caring woman. Whenever I tell him my problem, he's always very eager to solve the problem. He's a nice husband. And very, very hardworking. Very hardworking. He's not lazy at all. His action to me is very encouraging. Very encouraging. There are many things to say about him. There are many things to say about him. Talk, be it in the area of ministry, in our marital life, in even caring for the family, even outside engagements. I love my husband. I love my husband. I would say he is my angel too. It's quite very interesting. There was a period we went for, we were invited at Ajayi College of Education, Ondo, as members of the choir of Emmanuel Baptist Church. So by that time, I saw him physically, but I didn't make any approach or maybe just to greet. I just remarked within me, I knew this man. So the following year too, we invited the members of the choir to our own church, where I was a member of the choir. So it was then that we exchanged greetings at the Kirawa Koton, and we collected addresses, and I gave him my address. Then the most important thing in that particular development is that when he approached me, I had to go and wait upon the Lord, because the issue of marriage wasn't in my mind at all at that particular time. So when he approached me, and I will think about it. I went to the Lord and I prayed over it to the extent that I gave God sign before I could give him my approval. So that is how we started. I think the courtship lasted for 2 years. And later we got married. Okay.
Orúkọ mi ni Evangelist Gbádégẹṣin Ìgbóọlá. A jẹ́ ọ̀kan nínú ọmọ ìjọ lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́ àti evangelist mi tí mo mọ̀ wọ́n níbi ó ti lé ní ogún ọdún àti ọdún méjì. Tí mo mọ̀ nípa wọn ni pé àwọn ni wọ́n mú mi wọnú ìgbàgbọ́ jẹ́ ọmọ Ọlọ́run nítòótọ́ torí ìgbà tí wọ́n dé sí ìlú Ìṣẹ̀ àpàdé ní Òlèlè ibẹ̀ láti bẹ̀rẹ̀ ìjọ títí àṣẹ àtúntà àtàkọ́lé àtúkúrò ń bẹ̀ wá sí permanent church wa lẹ́yìn bí ọdún mẹ́ẹ̀ẹ́dógún. So fún ìdí èyí wọn ò fi mí sílẹ̀, èmi náà dẹ̀ fi wọ́n sílẹ̀. Àwọn ni wọ́n ń tọ́ mi sọ́nà láti mọ rìnrìn àjò nínú ìgbàgbọ́ àti pé lọ́rọ̀ ìdílé gan wọ́n jẹ́ ọ̀kan lọ́jà kìtìyàn nínú ibẹ̀ láti jẹ́ kí ìdílé mi kó fẹsẹ̀ múlẹ̀. Nìkan àkọ́kọ́ rẹ́ǹtì ẹ̀ ibẹ̀ ni wọ́n ń pè ní store bàbá Ládélé. Ibẹ̀ ni àwọn kan ti gbógun ti wá pé dandan kí wọ́n lé wa jáde ọ̀sán kùn òru kan wọ́n sá lé wa jáde wípé wọn ò fẹ́ ká dá Christ Independent Baptist Church sílẹ̀ sí ìlú Ìṣẹ̀ wípé àyàfi tá a bá wá sábẹ́ wọn. Bàbá yẹn lé wa àkúrò ń bẹ̀ àtúntò tọrọ lẹ̀ àkànpákó àti gbogbo pákó ọjọ́ kan ìjì kan já ní ìlú Ìṣẹ̀ tó jẹ́ pé ó lágbára gan òun ló ká gbogbo ẹ̀. So bí dáàdi ṣe sọ fún wa nìyẹn wípé a lè mọ náwó sí bí o ká padà sórí permanent ṣòṣì wa bí tí àti ìkọ́ yẹn rárá sábẹ̀rẹ̀ àlọ́ ìṣiṣẹ́ níbẹ̀ àkọ́kọ́ ilé kékeré kan síbẹ̀ ilé ọ̀hún òbí kékeré lọ. So ilé kékeré yẹn ibẹ̀ ni gbogbo akọ́kọ́ ń lò títí tọ́lọ́run lẹ́nu gbàkóso tá a fi pìlẹ̀ lé ńlá yẹn sílẹ̀ ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì ńlá yẹn sílẹ̀ ìgbà yẹn la wá sílẹ̀ kọ́ auditorium ní látàrí ń lò ní ìsìn ìbẹ̀ láti wá kọ́. So dájú nípa ìdáwó gan àwọn ní number 1 nínú ìjọ ń bẹ̀ tó dé wípé owó tí wọ́n fi sílẹ̀ láti lè jẹ́ kárí ìjọ yẹn kọ́ ó mú fàwa náà fi sátẹ̀lé wọn. So fún ìdí èyí wọ́n jẹ́ èèyàn tó ní olùfọkànsìn nínú Jésù Kristi.
Find as an active father. It's a father that is ready to support his children in whatever situation they find themselves. Like my own. Whenever I tell him that I'm in such a situation, he's ready at any time to support. So he's an active father that knows his role as a father. I call him my mentor because we want to, in life, to have some characteristics, in discharging my duties as a father too, to my children. And at the same time, he's a good teacher because he will want you to learn from him. He wants other people to emulate him. So he laid a good example for we children. So, as he grows in life, I pray God will grant him peace and goodness.